Hello and welcome back to Cast On, a knitting podcast where I talk about my finished objects, my whips, some yarn acquisition and some more knitting things. My name is Ellie, I am from Austria and this is episode number 18. Hello and welcome to the returning viewers. I am so happy you could join me again. I don't have that much to talk about today, sadly, because life has just been all kinds of crazy and yeah, I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if I'm the only one feeling like that, but we can get into that a little bit later. First off, grab yourself a drink, grab your knitting, and we can get straight into my finished objects, which is what I am wearing today. It is my Lento by Laine magazine. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It is my new baby. I never thought I would love this pattern as much as I do now, even after I heard so many people talk about it. So let's talk about it as well. The Lento is meant to be worked with a fingering and a mohair, and you only need like a very small amount of yarn. You work on 6mm needles and it's supposed to be super quick. And let me tell you, it is. This knit up so freaking fast. I don't think I've ever knitted a sweater this fast. It was so pleasant to work with this pattern. You have a folded over collar, which was a little bit of a nightmare because you are supposed to have a provisional cast on, and whereas I did the provisional cast on correctly, which one of you guys actually recommended a video, and I watched that and I tried it with the crochet hook, game changer. Nothing compared to how I did it before. Absolutely love that technique, but I went straight into the ribbing, and you're supposed to have one round of knitting, which left me with those really strange stitches, and I couldn't figure out what I've done wrong, so I just picked them up as I felt they could be picked up. I have no idea how to fix that, because what kind of happened is instead of having one loop, I would have the two legs of the stitch. That was weird, sorry. Very strange, I don't know, but it's fine at the end. It's not the neatest on the inside, but who cares, it's on the inside. And then you have these really nice raglan stitches, and they are actually not made with make one left and make one right, but with knit front and back. And I heard about this technique before, I've just never tried it before because no pattern apparently uses that really, and I think I love it. It avoids those big holes that you normally have with make one left and make one right, which I think looks just so much neater. You have a really nice clear line without having the stretched out stitches, and it is the perfect length. Well, when I say perfect, I didn't make any modifications to the pattern itself, but I did knit it longer. So the sleeves are supposed to be like here, kind of like 3/4 sleeves, but I don't like 3/4 sleeves. I don't wear those type of garments, so I really wanted it to hit at least my wrist, or more like my hand itself. But the problem was that I didn't know if I had enough yarn. So let's talk about that first. I used Filcolana Tilia, and I love this mohair. This is color 324, and I think it's called Amethyst. It's a really dark purple. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I held this double with my hand-dyed yarn that I wanted to use. This is Birdstreet Yarn Merifine in a DK weight base. I think it's 75-25 if I'm not mistaken, or 80-20, 80% wool, 20% nylon. I love this yarn. It is so even. You have loads of different colors. You have some speckles, you have some darker ones, you have pink, you have purple, you have some whites, you have some really dark grey ones, and you have some orange here. I love it, and it came out so even. if I stand up, you wouldn't see where the skeins changed. And I used 3 hanks or skeins, so I had 3 in total, and I do have a little bit left. I realized whilst I was making the body, I actually have more than what the pattern tells me to use, so I could have, and I probably should have, just made everything until I didn't have any yarn left. That was very strange. Let me rephrase. So what I did is, you're supposed to knit the sleeves shorter, but I knit them to about just shy of bracelet length, because again I didn't know if I had enough yarn. So I thought with blocking I can always stretch them, that is no problem. So I actually made the sleeves first and then the body, but with the body I had to shorten the ribbing as well, otherwise it would have been too long to what I actually like. But I still have this left, so I actually could have made the sleeves the appropriate length and just use every ounce of this. Couldn't have known that. It's fine, I'm not going to undo it. Theoretically I could undo the bind off and just knit a bit further for the ribbing, but I actually like this ribbing length, so I'm not going to mess with that because I don't want like half of my forearm to be ribbing. Apart from that, I really like this sweater. The pattern was so easy, it was very straightforward, easy to understand, no faffing around, super fast to knit up. Like I said, I think this is the fastest sweater I ever knit, and the sleeves, I just flew through them. That is not normal for me. As you will be able to tell with my whips, I really don't like sleeves. So I am stuck on Sleeve Island on almost all of them, but with this I thought, before I make the body, I'm just gonna make the sleeves, be done with it, not have to worry about it anymore. And that helped a lot, because then it was just plain knitting, no increases, decreases, nothing to worry about, and then the ribbing. In terms of the yarn was gorgeous to work with, highly recommended. I do have some a different colorway of this exact same yarn, also in a DK weight, so I do know I can definitely make a Lento out of it. I don't think I need another Lento because I don't really like to make the same pattern twice, which is kind of stupid because you already paid for the pattern, so why would you not make it more than once? But we'll see, maybe it will turn into a Lento, I don't know. But this mohair, I love this mohair. I know it's a favorite for quite a lot of people, and I totally get why. I don't know why it took me so long to finally try it, but this is incredible. It is so soft, it softens even more with washing, and it is not itchy. It is not itchy, and that is incredible for me because I only used one other mohair before, and that was Drops Kid Silk, and that itches to heck and back. It is so itchy. I cannot wear almost any of the garments where I use that mohair in it, and that is a lot of my sweaters because I did use it a lot because, like I just said, I've not tried any other mohair. But this does not itch, which means that it's the Drops mohair, which I don't like, and not mohair in general, which is good news because that means I can keep the fluff and halo factor that you get with mohair and keep using it in my other sweaters. I just know I need to buy this mohair or a different one when I get the time to actually trying different ones. So that is my Lento. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend the pattern to anyone. The Lento Knit Along by Rebecca and Amy is still going along. I think it's till the 5th of March, so you can definitely whip this up in 2 weeks. Like I said, for me, I think it only took me a week to finish the whole thing, and that wasn't even just knitting on this, I knit on other things as well. So highly recommend the pattern. The only thing I would change with my sweater is I want to put some elastic in the collar, because like you just saw, my shirt is peeking out and it just stretches out the neckline, and I don't like a wide neckline. So if I put elastic at the top, I've never done that before, this is gonna be my first time putting elastic in, but I'm hoping once I do that it's gonna be sit more like this instead of this. So, and yes, I am wearing a stripy shirt underneath. So yeah, my Lento, really happy with this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my leftovers. I've not decided yet because I don't have a lot. I might make like scrappy socks with it, or I could make like a scrunchie, something that I'm actually gonna wear, because I don't think there's any point in making things that you're not gonna use. And this yarn is kind of special to me, so I really want to make something that I actually gonna use. The other finished object that I have is something really not special. I whipped this up a few days ago. It is just a plain garter stitch square. I'm not even sure if it's actually a square. But it's white, and I had this yarn in my stash for a while and I want to get rid of it because it's a cotton acrylic blend. It is quite soft. It is, I think, Lana Grossa. So I just thought I could make some like wash towels, maybe when you take your makeup off or something. I know white or like an off-white is not the best colour for like cleaning yourself or cleaning the kitchen, but it is what I have, so I might as well use it. So those were my two finished objects. Now we can get into whips, and I have purchased a basket so I can store all of my lovely whips in it, because I don't have a bedside table like a nightstand, and it's been driving me crazy because I really don't like putting my projects that are not in a project bag just on the floor, because the floor gets really disgusting and dirty. And I just wanted a basket where I can just throw everything in, because who knows, I might want to work on one whip, but I might also want to work on all 5 in that night. So that's why I bought this just from IKEA. Love it. So there are not a lot of new things, just because I kind of lost my knitting mojo. I went through my Ravelry queue and patterns that I already own to see what I would like to cast on next, and nothing really sparks joy at the moment, which does make me really sad, because I want to make things but I don't want to make things. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if anyone is also feeling like that at the moment, but I'm a bit in a slump at the moment. Don't know really how to get out of it, and that's why I'm not casting on new things, not only because I've not really found anything that I really want to cast on, but also because I'm really sick of the projects that I have, because quite a few of them are really long-term projects and I just want to finish them. I just want to get them done and out of my mind and not have to worry about them, which kind of is the goal. So I'm really sorry if this is just boring, because there is not a lot of new things. Enough rambling. First thing, my Dreams of Aran sweater. It is a free design by Garnstudio, and this is the body. You knit it bottom up. It is a free pattern. This is the body. I finished that I think 2 months ago or something like that. I still have to do the front like fully, because what you do is you start casting off on each side. Casting off in the middle and then work each side for the collar. So this has been done for a while, but here it is. What is new about this is that I've been working on the sleeve, which is why this project has been going on for so long is because I just couldn't be bothered to cast on the sleeves, and I finally made some good progress on it. So this is what the sleeve looks like. This is for my boyfriend. You have a really nice cable along this side, and then on the back you have a moss stitch in between, and then the same cable on either side. Last time I was around here, so I knit quite a few rows if I do say so myself, partially also because we went on a little day trip, but more on that later. So the pattern is a free design and I have a lot of problems with it. The sizes, I don't know what it is, maybe it's just me because no one else seems to have that problem, but it just doesn't fit. I had problems with the body when I cast it on. It was way too wide, it just didn't fit properly, and the same happened with the sleeve. So I had to undo the sleeve I think 3 times until it finally fit. And what I did was not go with the pattern, sorry, just hair like a dog shedding hair everywhere. So I shortened the, no, not shortened, I changed the number of stitches that you work from immediately, and this leaves me having to increase at a different rate than what a pattern tells you, because it is tight around the cuff. I do have the original cuff here, and can you see how wide this is for a cuff? Like what the hell? No one's wrists are this big. So if you compare it, it's almost half the size that I cast on. And the problem was that you had to do this garter edge on both the top and the bottom before you have the ribbing, which makes it quite stretchy, but it also kind of loses the tightness of the rib. So I changed that. I have just a normal cast on edge, no garter stitch at all, and like I said, I increase at different rates. I should have calculated this, and it would have been an easy calculation as well to see how many stitches I have to calculate for the sleeve length that I'm making, but for some reason I just did not think of that at the time. So this is what I'm left with, increasing whenever I feel like it's right. It's just past the elbow now. Here's my elbow, so it's just past that, so I don't have that much more to go. Say that, and then it's gonna be left in the corner for once again. No, that's not gonna happen. But I'm just past the elbow now, so I hope that this will be fairly fast. I have no idea. The thing with the shoulder is you do seam it together around the armholes, and it is kind of a saddle shoulder construction because the sleeve actually comes to the top of the shoulder, and then you connect it with the front bit and the back bit. So I don't know how long that will take me. I don't know if will be able to replicate this exact sleeve for the second one, even though it did mark when I'm increasing, but it's very difficult to see on what row it is because it's like an 8-row repeat. God knows, but it is turning out all right. Did I say that right? It is turning out all right. I do have like a pizza slice situation going on. You can see here, this is the moss stitch where you increase, and I hope this won't take too much longer. This is, the yarn is Drops Karisma in color 44. It is a very light grey. It's very pleasant to work with. It is super wash, but it is 100% wool, and I recommend this yarn to anyone because it is very affordable, and for a sweater like this where you do need like 12 balls or something, it is very good. Really like working with it, and I will definitely have enough yarn. That was a something that I thought I might not have at the beginning, because I got through quite a lot with the body, but I still have like 5 balls or something, and that is just one. That's just one, and I'm halfway done with the sleeve. Don't need to do a lot for the body, so I will definitely have some I will definitely have enough, and I also think I will have some leftovers, but that's fine. So that is whip number 1. Whip number 2 is my Ingrid sweater by Petite knit. I've not really worked on it because I am very worried I'm gonna run out of yarn. I am using We Are Knitters Merifine in like a mauve colour, and I have got 10 balls of it, and I already used 5 just for the body. So this is what it looks like. I have made a mistake right here with the ribbing. I was supposed to double this and didn't because I read the chart wrong, but I'm not gonna rip all of this back just to change that, so whatever. Stuff like this happens, it's fine. And I put on a collar. It's just a simple one. I wanted to do a folded, like a double folded collar, but I'm not sure if I have enough yarn. So the plan for now is to just, I stopped at the body. I'm just at the last repeat of the 4 cables down here, and I'm not gonna work anymore on the body because I want to have the full length of the sleeves, because I'm very worried I'm gonna run out of yarn, and I don't think I can get this yarn again. I don't know what it is with We Are Knitters. I tried going on the product on the website, I can't click on it, I don't know. So I really hope I do have enough. The pattern says I have enough yarn, but I'm not, I don't know if I trust that because the sleeves are actually quite wide. Like, this is the armhole from here to here. That's a wide sleeve. Oh, actually, it's not that wide. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I have 4 balls left to wing it to see if it fits, and if I do have enough, I think I will try and make a folded collar. If not, then this is the length it will be. It's fine like this. I tried it on, it looks really good. I'm not doing the stitch repeat you're supposed to do on the collar as well. I don't like the look of it, so I just made like a simple 1x1 rib. I'm really bad with picking up stitches. I always pick up the wrong amount. I think I'm 6 stitches off with this one, which isn't too bad. I've been off by like 15 before, but that's fine because that means the collar is actually tighter and it's not super wide. So I hope it's gonna be fine. I hope. About the Ingrid pattern itself, I think the pattern is very clear. I know the problems arise from the sleeve decreases. I'm not there yet because obviously I don't have sleeves yet. But so far it's been very enjoyable. It's been very fast. There have been a few mistakes, especially with the moss section at the top. And I think I messed up there a little bit, and then obviously I messed up by the ribbing that goes across here. But it is super fast and enjoyable, even though you do work with 4mm needles. I can't remember what the yarn weight is, but this one has got 17 stitches per 10 centimeters or 4 inches, and I think the pattern says 18 stitches or something. So this one is actually not too far off, and I had this yarn in my stash. I wanted to use it for a while, and I do quite like the colour. I don't know if it's gonna work with my hair and my skin tone, if it's gonna look weird. I mean, I know I look very pale right now. That's because of the sun, but we'll see when it's finished. We'll see how that goes, and I am really excited to have this in my wardrobe. I'm even considering making a second one just because this was so enjoyable. But again, why do I need 2 sweaters from this with the same pattern? I get why people do it, but for me, I just don't really see the point in that just yet. So this might have to be my one and only Ingrid sweater with loads of mistakes in it. But that's fine by me, because that is knitting. It's not perfect, it's handmade, and that is the beauty in handmade stuff. So whip number 3 is something you've seen so many times as well, and I'm also sick of seeing it. I get it, you know, I get it. This is my Cargill sweater by Rebecca from the Creabia podcast, and I have finished the body quite a while ago now. I still need to redo the collar because I picked up the wrong amount of stitches. It flares out like heck. It doesn't look good. It's also not high enough, so I'm gonna fix that eventually. But I have almost a full sleeve. I am full on a sleeve island, as you can tell. I got 2 sleeves for the Ingrid sweater, 1.5 sleeves now for the Dreams of Aran sweater, and 2 sleeves of this. But with this one I am almost done. I do have a few more repeats to go. I can't remember if I measured it and then knit again, or if what I measured was wrong, but I do need about 5 centimeters more from what I can remember. It looks so good when I have it on. It really is an incredible pattern. It is an incredible stitch, and depending on where the sweater lays, the sleeve shortens and lengthens. So I do hope that it will expand in the blocking process, that it will grow, not only in width wise, I know that will happen, but I also want it to kind of grow lengthwise. I will make the sleeves like the pattern suggests, which are kind of balloon sleeves, but I hope they're not too balloony. I don't have any sweater with balloon sleeves. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I think it looks so good with this pattern that I might as well try it. And the reason why this is still going on is just because I lost steam on it. I know I said it a few times before. I just couldn't be bothered picking it up again because I've seen it for so many times now. This has been on, I think, every single podcast episode since, I don't know, October, November, something around that time when I cast it on. And this is one of those projects that really make me fall out of love with knitting, because I can knit on it for, I don't know, a whole repeat and it looks like nothing changed. It's like one of those, or it feels like one of those fingering weight sweaters where you just knit and knit and knit for hours and you've done like this much. And that is what's been holding me back. Also, this sleeve has got the 4mm needles that I need for my Ingrid sweater, so I might have to magic loop either of them or just put this in the naughty corner and just let it rest. I don't know, I've not decided yet, because it is so pretty and I do want to have it and I do want to wear it, preferably before it gets freaking hot here, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think this is going to be like my Christmas sweater, which wasn't a Christmas cast on but it is Christmas themed, that I just don't feel like working on it anymore, or at least at the moment. I might come back to it because it's basically, or it's like almost a full sweater, but maybe I need to cleanse my palette and start fresh I don't know yet. But let's talk about the yarn. This is Drops Kid Silk Mohair in a really dark purple colour, and this is Sandnesgarn Sunday in a very light lilac colour. Together they make this beautiful fabric. You do see the individual strands, like you can clearly see, and pick them apart, but I think it's a good match. I wanted a dark purple colour and that's what I got. But the mohair. This is exactly what I meant with, I've only tried one mohair so far, and it's really itchy and I cannot wear any of the garments that I make with this. It might be an exception. I did try this on today because I was taking some pictures, and it did not itch as much as the others do. Maybe it's just something wrong with my brain thinking it doesn't itch as much. Maybe it really doesn't itch as much. I don't know. But I wish I had not used this mohair, because I know it would have been a lot more wearable for me if I had used a mohair that doesn't itch and that fully know that it does itch, and I still decided to go ahead with it. But can't think about past mistakes, just only have to look forward into the future, and I don't know where the future will be with this sweater. You might see it for a while longer, you might not see it for months. I've not decided yet, but for now I will just finish off that sleeve, put on the ribbing, and yeah, we'll go from there, I would say. And then put this in here, and then I have something quite exciting, at least for me, but also frustrating. If you've been around here for a little while, you know that I would love to design my own things. I have a lot of ideas, I have a lot of patterns in mind, and I have started designing a few things. And this is one of those. Ta-da! This is going to be a summer shirt, and it is a raglan with a round neck, a crew neck. And this is worked up in Drops Safran. They currently have a deal going on, like a sale. This is colour 68. It's a very nice dark cocoa brown. It's grown on me. It's 100% cotton yarn, and it has grown on me. It is a bit squeaky to work with, but it is alright. So I have calculated everything, like the whole numbers for this sweater, and I need to go back. I don't know where I went wrong, I don't know what happened, but as you can see, the yoke, here's my armpit, and the sleeves armpit is down here. It's way too long. I don't know what happened. I did exactly like I was supposed to do it, and instead I just have this massive yoke. So I need to go back. I'll probably have to rip all of this out, which is a shame because I really enjoyed working on it. It didn't take as long as I thought it would, even though it is a fingering weight. Or is it DK? Can't remember. But it just doesn't fit right, and I really don't want to design something that doesn't fit right. And I'm sick of knitting things that don't fit me right, because I think I found out I have a very narrow armhole depth, because as you can see I always knit the small size for things, and it's always too wide. It's always way too wide. Like my bust, this is what I thought it would be, instead it's this. Can you see all this extra fabric? Like, I know I am a quite small person, I don't have a lot of cleavage and stuff, but I don't want to keep making shirts and sweaters that just are too wide because the yoke is too deep and then I have this much fabric left over. So that is kind of my mission and that is what went wrong with this. Maybe again it is a me problem because this is what it's supposed to be like, because if I compare the raglan from my shirt with what I made with the Lento, it basically is the same depth. So again, I don't know if it's me or if it's the garment, but it's annoying me very much. So it is a very basic summer shirt. The design idea and the design itself will be on the sleeves and the body, no, not the body, but just before the ribbing essentially, just because I wanted something simple but a bit elegant and girly, and this is what I had in mind, working with this yarn, knitting something like this up as a summer shirt. So we'll see how that goes along, we'll see if I can figure those things out, and I don't know, the future is very well unknown. And yeah, put this in the basket again, and those were all of my whips. I don't have any yarn acquisitions because last week we got the energy bill and we need to save some money. Everything just is so much more expensive and I can now really feel this. I try to limit myself, but I do like to spend money on yarn because it's just, it makes me happy, it's pretty. So I'm not on like a yarn buying ban at all, because then I know I'll just want it more. But I do want to be a bit more conscious about what I buy, and because I do know I have a big stash, I want to prioritize kind of using the things up in my stash, even if it's just 2 skeins. Like with this, I just want to create, even though I don't feel like creating at the moment. And I think that is what comes down to it. Life has just been so crazy. I am really frustrated. I am bordering on depression, and I just don't know. I just don't know what to do. I think a lot of people feel like this at the moment. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's something, I don't know, in the air. I don't know. I need to stop saying I don't know, but I really don't know. My study has not gone according to plan. My thesis basically can be binned. I have to do it all again. So I threw a whole month away, especially the month of December, where it's just before Christmas. All of that work I did then it was just for nothing. I have to do it all again, and I'm really frustrated, and that just makes me want to not make it even more. My exams are also not going according to plan. I'm kind of in a rebellious state at the moment. I don't want to do things, and the more pressure that I have to do those things, the less I want to do it. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but it is a really toxic trait of mine that whenever I get closer to a deadline, the less I want to do it, and the more I just lounge around and I'm lazy, and that makes me feel guilty on the flip side again. So I don't really know how to get out of this slump. It's not just life at the moment, but also, you know, my hobbies, knitting. I've been reading a lot in the past few days because reading just takes me to a place where I don't have to worry about reality. It's escaping the world, and I know this sounds really bad, but sorry, my battery died. I hope the lighting and everything didn't change that much. Like I was saying, I know this sounds really bad that I want to kind of escape the real world, but it's just, at the moment, it's just too much pressure from all sides, And I found out something very interesting the other day. I found out that not everyone is seeing pictures when they read. I don't know if you know that as well, or if you didn't. I was flabbergasted. I was so shocked when I heard that, and then I asked my boyfriend and I said, hey, when you read something, do you just see words when you read, or do you imagine the scene? And he's like, I just see the words in my head. And that statement made me so sad, because now I can understand why people, and him especially, don't like to read. Because if you just see the words floating around in your head from what you're reading, but you can't be in that world, you can't imagine the actual scene, of course reading is going to be boring and you don't want to do it, because it's just nothing. It's just words. So I thought that was quite interesting, and that is why I gravitate towards reading so much. And like I said, I've been reading a lot lately, and I've not been picking up my knitting just because I don't want to think. I don't want to think on my own. I don't have to worry about reality, responsibilities. I don't know. It's just a weird moment at this point in time. I hope you are doing better. I hope your knitting is going alright and your mental health is also on the better side. I do recommend going to a therapist or whatever you need. Maybe do some exercise, maybe do something different to get your mojo back for whatever it is. And that's what I did, for example. Last week, me and my boyfriend, we hopped on the train and we went to Salzburg. I'm gonna put a few clips in because it was just so lovely to get out of Vienna, out of the city, just go to a new place. I have been there before, but my boyfriend hasn't, and it was just so nice. Also because it is not far away from here at all. It's about 2.5 hours of just a train ride, so that meant for me a lot of knitting time, which I did make good use of, and it was a lovely day. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend just going out. Just if you're in the city, go out to the countryside or go to a different city, see something else, go to a museum, go for a walk, just like air your brain out. Or try something new. We recently bought a pasta machine and a bread maker, so for the past week we've just been eating pasta because my boyfriend wanted to make pasta and we love it. So those are just a few things that bring me joy and kind of try to get myself out of this funk that I'm in at the moment. But yeah, I hope besides all of that, that you are well, that things have not been as bad. I hope you had a lovely Valentine's Day as well, if you kind of not celebrate it, but if you have someone to share it with, even if it's just with yourself, because we can also all love ourselves, which is really important. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it is not the usual lot of projects, not a lot of new things to show you, lots of progress, but I still hope that you stuck around. I am so grateful for all of you. I know I don't say it often enough, but I really truly am, and I'm so happy that I have built this kind of space for myself and with you guys, so we can come together every 2 weeks and just enjoy each other's company and the craft. So I hope you have a lovely week, lovely weekend whenever you're gonna see this. Keep going, keep strong, and I'm gonna see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye.